In the gym and in the car, with our advice you could go far. We fuck things up and we make mistakes, and talk about our sexy dates. We host events and go to clubs, but most of all we're still in love. It's getting hard for this to rhyme, just as well 'cause it's bed hopping time.
Hello and welcome to episode 151 of the Bed Hoppers podcast. My name is Mr. H.
And I'm Mrs. H.
Thank you for joining us today. And also, if you've listened to our previous podcast and sent in some feedback, thank you very much. It has been wonderful, a delight to have such lovely feedback.
I have been very, very, very touched by some of that feedback.
And some of those people.
And some of those people. You can't back that up.
I can. I can back it up real good.
Well, anyway, but you're right. It has been amazing. Thank you. Very supportive.
Yeah, a whole bunch of people reached out over some of our thoughts and feelings of hosting events and how we were on the night and what your death stare was like, Mrs. H.
Oh, my goodness.
So it's been...
I've been practicing it all week, but no one's died so far.
Well, talking of dying...
Oh.
You've not been very well. You're not dying, unfortunately.
No, of course. That's very dramatic.
Well, it is very dramatic, but... we think that you might have had a bout of food poisoning. So we're recording this quite late in the day. So if the quality isn't up to our regular scratch, then sod off. We're sorry. We're just churning these, lovingly crafting these episodes out and placing them into the community as a sort of bastion of good taste and enjoyment. Yeah?
I think what I've contracted in the last week is born from hell itself.
Really?
I cannot think of anything more akin to Satan's dwelling, maybe, than what I've been through. Now, I'm prone to drama. But let me tell you, this has been savage. So savage.
Well, at first we thought it was something that you ate that triggered like the whole gluten response.
Yeah, but it's not.
It's not. It's been going on for 4 days.
Too many days.
Yeah, 5 days.
I'm entering the 5th day. And I feel like death.
Isn't that like an Arnie film?
Ooh, the 6th day.
Is there a sequel called The 7th Day?
No, it's the 6th day. And I know, and I'll tell you for why. It's because I can never say 6th.
6th.
And poorly chosen title of film, I think, for that reason, because no one can really say the 6th day.
Is it about the clones? It's always about the clones. Ah.
Wait, it is about the clones,
No,
isn't
it's not, isn't it? I don't think so.
Oh, isn't it?
I don't know.
What's the one about the clones?
Isn't the 6th day the one about, I don't know, where he's going into hell and...
No, that's End of Days, you fool. You.
It is about clones.
It is.
My brother. Anyway.
No, that's twins. Don't get my Arnies mixed
You're
up.
a clone. You always wanted lots of land. Now here's 2 acres. And so on and so forth.
We've inadvertently stumbled onto a film podcast instead tonight.
Exactly. But so I think the thing is that you've not been particularly well over the last week. So we've kind of waited and waited and waited so that you're well enough so that we can record the show. And you're getting better. It looks like you've turned a corner.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's the right corner, not the wrong one, and that you're on the mend. So thank you for everyone who wished you well.
Yeah.
Lots of people sent pictures of animals on Twitter. That was really lovely.
That was really lovely. Yeah.
And I guess so. We were in a pretty good space last week. I mean, we'd come out of the whole party vibe, and
you were in a funk.
I was in a funk, but I picked myself up.
Yeah.
I was pretty good. It was only lasted like a day or two. You picked me up. You raised me up. So that I could stand on
mountains
shoes. And so, we kind of got to that space and we decided to go out and visit some friends, which was really lovely. And then you ate something, might have been a dodgy takeaway.
Who knows?
We think it's that. And then you've just been ill for the last 5 days. So it's been a tricky one to get right. And then the dog, for some reason, Yoko, bless her, getting on a bit, decided to keep us awake for the last couple of nights as well. So the first few nights you were up and down every 2 minutes at night. And then the dog decided to do the same just when you might have been able to sleep through the whole thing. So it has been a tiring couple of weeks, but we've got some really, really wonderful things planned, which is really nice. Mm-hmm. So we've got some visitors over the next few days.
Oh, we do.
Which is cool. So hopefully we'll be able to tell you about that soon. We've got a party that we're getting costumes sorted for.
We have
very
costumes.
We have, well, pretty much.
No, we have.
I think
what
I need,
else do you need? You
I think
don't
I need the
need
wig.
anything
I think
else.
I need the wig.
You
I
don't.
think I need the wig. I think I do.
Less is more.
Well, maybe, but the wig is awesome. So
How
anyway,
long are you going to wear it? 12 minutes, guarantee it.
I'll wear it for at least an hour.
Yeah, you will. I'm going to wear it for like a whole weekend. I'm going to make you if you buy that bloody thing.
I might just buy it. I might just get it. Anyways, we're not going to reveal what the costumes are yet. But we'll probably post them
I don't
on,
even know.
I know you don't. We'll post them on social media when it comes down to it. So there's not long to go and we'll be able to do that in the next week or so.
I must remember to breathe in a lot when you take that picture.
Breathe in.
Well, breathe out.
Breathe
Fine,
out.
a pedantic one.
Yeah, that's right. You got to get these things right.
Although, don't worry though, because this savage as fuck virus thing that's hit me has actually really helped. So, yay to that.
Well, yeah. Okay, fair enough. So just in summary, we've got some exciting things coming up. We were in a bit of a funk. You've been poorly. People have been really nice getting in touch to talk about the episode, talk about the feedback, and also people that attended the party were really kind and generous with their lovely words.
I agree.
Which was really cool. Lots of people had a really, really good time. Lots of people were sort of talking about their own sort of little moments throughout the course of that evening as well. So it was really interesting just to hear all these different things that went on. But in the main, or for the main, people had a really cool time, right?
I think so.
So this episode, right?
I know nothing.
You know nothing,
Nothing.
Jon Snow.
Nobody tells me nothing.
So what we're going to do, because we knew, or because I knew, as you know, organizer and all that sort of stuff, generally speaking, when it comes to the podcast, any kind of actual life event, I have no say in, because clearly I'll fuck that up.
Do you want me to carry on polishing this halo of yours?
Yes, please
or?
do.
Right.
And then I can use it as a cock ring.
Yes, exactly.
So this episode, what I thought I'd do is go to our various Discords and ask people if they had any questions for us, and we would answer them, because A, we haven't had any adventures that we can talk about. B, we hadn't really thought about the episode particularly until last minute and we're being inherently lazy. And C, because you weren't feeling very well, we want, you know, the main thing was making sure that you were okay. So you're now able to chat a bit more and sit on a seat for more than 10 minutes without rushing to the bathroom. More information than you need to know, gentle listener. We thought we'd pick up some of these questions, answer them, and then we're going to tell you at the end about a new event that we've just announced.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
That sound cool?
Yes. I mean, this is all news to me as well, these questions. So
okay, this is good.
I can be coming at this for the first time.
For the first time. Okay, so the first question that we had, and I'm going to name who sent this question in.
Oh, okay.
Secret Stag sent this question in. In fact,
Who's
he sent
I
to...
have no idea who his person is. No idea. Brand new information.
That dude. Anyway,
what's
so
he sent
his first question was, who would win in a fight between all of the movie Batmen?
Ooh. Oh, that's a great question. I mean, I don't know this stag man, but he sounds like he's got a very good knowledge of movies. So
does he?
Can I give you an answer?
Yeah, you can.
Who I think would win.
Okay.
I'm gonna say, wait, it's the Batman, isn't it? That you're the Batman that we're fighting.
Yes.
Not the villains.
Not the villains, just the Batmen.
Right, and they're just fighting each other?
One assumes so.
They're not fighting villains or anything, just each other.
Who is the best Batman, I think, is what they're really coming down to. But who would win in a fight between all of them in a room?
I like Christian Bale Batman.
Do you? You know he's going to fuck you up.
He fights dirty, right?
No, not so much that. Because if you step in his eye line, he's going to go fucking... Don't you know who I am?
No, I think he's quite a gritty Batman.
Do you?
That might fight a lot. I don't trust the Val Kilmer Batman to do a fight.
Mm-hmm.
More concerned with his nipples, probably.
What about Adam West?
Oh, no, he's too nice to fight.
He'd nice his way out of it, would he? He'd dance
nice
his way through it.
Yeah, I think so too. And then George Clooney, he was Batman, wasn't he?
He wasn't very good as Batman.
No.
Kilmer wasn't good. Keaton was good, I thought.
Oh, what about Shovelface?
Shovelface, Patterson. Pat Bat. I think he did okay. He's a young Batman, though, isn't he?
He's a bit emo, isn't he?
I think he needs to be a little bit older before we can really see that, stand the test of what he's capable of as a Batman.
I'm going to go with Bale.
You're going to go with Bale?
I think he might be the best Batman.
See, I think Batfleck could beat Bale.
Oh, I don't like Batfleck.
Yeah, but he's well built, isn't he? He's like, he's been pushing around tires and shit, doing his Superman work. In fact, he beat Superman pretty much, so.
Fine. Well, can it just be those two then?
Can it just be those two?
Like top dogs.
I also have to give it on to Kevin Conroy, who was the voice of Batman in the animated series.
Yeah, but he wasn't fighting.
What do you mean he wasn't
I don't know
fighting?
what he looks like.
He looks like Batman, but as a cartoon, and also the games as well. Okay. So, but it was quite interesting actually, because this got posted in one of our Discords, and someone else mentioned, I think it was the Sexist Swingers, in fact, mentioned Kevin Conroy as one of the one of the Batmen. But he's a class act. But I think he's got one of the best Jokers,
Okay.
which is Mark Hamill.
Oh, yes. I mean, if we're talking Jokers, that's an entirely
Joker
different
off
thing.
is. But there's
Joker
only a
off.
couple of, Jack Nicholson. There's the
Bit dancey again, isn't he?
bit dancing. It's because he's jamming out to Prince all the time. That's what
I know,
it
I
is.
like it though.
And then there's Heath Ledger
Ooh,
and his
dark.
sort of performance, the Dark Knight and all that
Dark,
sort of nonsense.
very dark.
Yeah. I mean, he rocks a nurse's costume. That's
Is
the main thing.
Joaquin Phoenix in the list? Because
He doesn't really have a Batman to fight against. He's just a Joker.
yeah.
So we'll have to see. But anyway, in terms of Batman, I think Batfleck would probably kick their asses,
Hmm.
but he's not necessarily my favourite Batman.
Right, I'm going with Bale.
Yeah.
Bale.
Okay, fair enough. Okay. So he also sent in a slightly more sensible question.
Oh, good.
But one
Right,
that we'll
okay.
probably discuss less, which was around, and this is Secret Stag, not the Joker or Batman sending us
Right.
questions. He asked, how do you go about setting up a great online presence?
Well, he would know, wouldn't he?
Would he?
He has a great one.
Does he though?
I think
Does
I
he?
know who this person is.
What, Secret Stag?
Yeah.
You think
He's got quite a nice little Twitter page going on.
Well, okay. So I think there's a couple of things to this. There's the fab or the dating site profile element, and there's also the online social media presence.
Right.
So let's
Yeah.
take the social media one. What would be your top tips for setting that up?
Okay, so I wouldn't maybe put all your eggs into one social basket and have just one site.
So collectively spread yourself around on like the
Yeah.
Twitters, the Instagrams, the
in the
TikToks
nicest
or
way,
wherever.
spread yourself around.
Okay.
Yeah, because I mean, there's so many options now to have online profiles for things.
Mhm.
Why chuck it all into just one and hope you're going to get a hit? Just spread it over lots of different ones. Although you wouldn't want to spend loads of money.
Why would you be spending money?
Because on some of the ones that you have to spend money, don't you?
Do you
to get a
on
profile.
Twitter?
Oh, not on Twitter. No.
What-
Oh,
okay.
you just mean Twitter and Instagram.
Yeah.
Right.
Social media.
Yes.
Let's break that down first.
Hey, I've been in the brink of hell all week.
The sink of hell, more like. Anyways, so, okay, great profile on Twitter, Insta, or online presence. How do you go about doing that?
Right, okay.
I'm not sure that we know the answer to this. I'm not entirely sure
Well,
that
I
we've
say
cracked the code.
Instagram is mainly for posting pictures of your dinner. So. You've got to be very sensible on Instagram, though, because they'll take anything down.
I think that's one of the realities, and that you need to watch what you post, and you need to be
Absolutely.
aware of the platform's kind of rules and regulations so that you don't break them. Quite often they'll let you flex, but if someone wants to remove your social media presence and you've posted something that contravenes their rules, then they can report you and you'll get your shit taken down.
It absolutely will. And on Twitter, you've got similar challenges in that you can get shadow banned very
Yep.
easily, and you won't even know it. So-
You don't even know what shadow ban means.
Yes, I do.
What does it mean?
It means you haven't been like kicked off Twitter, but people can't see you.
That's kind of it when searches
See?
and all that sort of
Look
stuff.
at me, I know stuff.
All right, Jon Snow.
In terms of the two things you're talking about, though, I think, and this is a difficult one because Twitter can be an absolute hotbed of all the junk pictures, you know, the dick pics and the taco pics, and
Well, it depends on who you follow.
of course it does. But what I'm saying is, just because you can put explicit pictures on Twitter, it doesn't mean that they're necessarily things that everyone will engage with.
Well, I don't think you're supposed to put explicit pictures
Well,
on
people
Twitter,
do.
but people do. And I think the reality is that you could have your account shut down if you do
Yeah.
post that stuff. So there is always the risk as you're posting these kind of things as to whether people will take them out and delete them.
Especially in your banner pic, like your cover picture for Twitter, you've got to be really careful what you put in there. Otherwise, it will get taken down, I think.
I think for me, the top tip would be to try and be authentic about you and your personality. So rather than trying to develop a sort of an online presence, you're better off just being honest and posting about the stuff that you like and the stuff that you enjoy. Because I think more than one occasion, we've kind of met people and, you know, that we've known through Twitter and Instagram and stuff. And then when we've actually got to know them, we found that actually much of what they post isn't real. And well, welcome to the internet, Mr. H. Like, you know, I know lots of stuff isn't real, but you can get very invested in the community and the people that message you and the way they project themselves online. And actually, when you meet them, they're doing something entirely different. And, you know, you get the people who are posting, especially when they're content creators, you know, and I suppose anyone that's posting a picture is a content creator or Instagram by their very nature. But we've seen all sorts of people posting stuff like, oh, the next door neighbour's watching me through the window. This is what I was wearing when I was waiting for them. Bullshit. That's not what happened at all. That's just a fallacy,
It's
a story.
clickbait.
It's clickbait,
Absolutely.
clickbait, cockbait,
Yeah.
all of those things designed to get you interested in what they're selling or get you interested in liking their stuff and making them more popular. And I think that's all very good, and that's a good strategy, I suppose, if you want popularity over authenticity. But I prefer to be authentic and post the stuff that's in our head and what's going through our day.
Yeah, I think Twitter's an interesting one because I'm kind of curious sometimes as to why Twitter accounts exist for some individuals. If that's what they're going to post in the event they ever meet someone in reality, it's going to be so far removed from the actual version of real life. You have to wonder why create this if that's not what you are. And I know what you're saying about the authenticity piece, but equally, if you're creating it because you want to get to know people and connect with people, when you do meet them, if you're nothing like that, then what's the point?
Well, yeah, and that's the thing. If you're doing it to sell, I guess you have to be savvy about what people are doing and why they're doing it.
Yeah.
Are they doing it to titillate, to tease, to sell, to get clicks, to get likes? Then
OnlyFans
actually,
promotions.
or whatever it might
Of
be.
course, I understand that.
Then actually you have to be mindful that person is probably not going to be like the way that you see them projecting their stuff online. And the same goes for your profile on things like Fab Swingers or SDC or whatever profile you use to hook up with people. I find the more authentic ones, the ones where people are genuine and honest, it comes across so much better than just a load of fake nonsense.
And also, I would say if you are a couple, then please have both of you in there.
Oh yeah, it's really interesting, I find, because often it's the guys that message, but it's the women that are the pictures on the profile. And it's like this weird dichotomy. And I would absolutely say it's easy enough to get some okay pictures of yourself. I mean, you only have to look online for like 10 minutes to get some inspiration.
Not right now for me. That's not happening.
Maybe not some pictures for you right now. But equally, those pictures don't have to be of your face. They don't have to be of a certain body part. It could be just you in a smart suit at a wedding is easy enough to get a picture of, as long as you're not having to blur everything out. That's one of my great sort of irritants on profile building. I think the other thing that you need to think about is kind of the words that sit on your site and sit on your profile. And for me, again, there has to be a level of your personality, not just what you're looking for and what you're into, but something that gives everybody else in to have a conversation with you.
Yeah, no, I agree. I like the profiles that draw me in because I want to know more about that person based on what I've seen. And by that, I mean the insights into them, as you say, as people. Yeah. And even the silly things like, hey, this is my pet, or this is this funny thing, or this is... I just like that. It's just far more appealing to me than just, oh, funny.
Well, I think the thing is with yourself, obviously, is that you don't really go on and look at this stuff, particularly.
Peruse maybe sometimes.
Well, occasionally.
All right.
But in a way, I know that, any of those things where they don't have their personality, they don't have something interesting, are automatically discounted. The ones that don't have pictures of both of them. And they don't. You don't have to have pictures of you together, although that is nice. No. It does show that you actually give a shit about each other. But the ones where it's just pictures of one partner, and I'm just talking about couples here particularly, but I automatically discount those. If someone messages us and there's no pictures of the other half at all, or if the other picture is, and it tends to be that they're all pictures of the lady and not pictures of the man. Sweeping generalizations, but if the one picture of the dude is a cock shot and there's like 42 pictures of the woman, it's an automatic no from us.
It's a red flag.
It is.
For me.
Absolutely a red flag. So in terms of how to set up a good online presence, I guess there's numerous sort of guides to taking great pictures. There's numerous sort of, have a look. In fact, one of my top tips, and I use this at work, is that if you see something that you like, think about what you liked about it, copy it, not word for word.
The imitation is the sincerest form of flattery.
It is. And I think, if something works for you, if you see a picture or a pose that looks great, why not try and imitate that? It doesn't have to be...
Put your own spin on it, though.
Put your own spin on it, or a profile that works for you. Why not copy that and have a look and see how you could do something that is similar and use it to inspire you. And I often say to people who write, take a clipping of a writing or an article that you really enjoyed and keep that so that when you want to go back to it and create something new, you've got this library of reference that you can refer to that will help inspire you. And I think that's a really good tip that you can, practically use on setting up an online site or setting up a profile or, going onto Twitter, etc. But obviously in terms of the authenticity, that's a huge thing for me. I want to feel like I know you as a person. And that's really important to me if I want to connect with somebody.
Idly thinking now what a profile from Batman would look like. Can't help it.
It's just 2 words. I'm Batman. He doesn't need to say anything else.
Just pictures of him in his cape. Brooding.
No, one of him fishing. There's like this big fish he caught.
Having a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Wearing a big hoodie. Having a pizza.
Petting a dog.
Oh, please, somebody set up a Batman account. I just need to see this.
So, okay, we had a number of other questions as well. So, trouble 3 or trouble with a 3.
Trouble with a 3.
With a 3. They might have trouble with a 3, I don't know. But anyway,
I don't know.
They asked, perhaps rather hilariously, why do so many have Sydney University scrawling as written on their account?
Is that still actually a thing? Do people still think it's real? Or?
And this, ladies and gentlemen, is exactly why Mrs. H hasn't been on any of the dating profiles. And it's definitive proof that she's not been on there, because these things are still all over the place. We have friends that have these things on them.
No.
Yeah, of course we do. And we also have some friends that will take the piss out of it as well.
Who are Sydney University? Do we even know?
Yes,
what
it's
have they got
Sydney
to do with anything?
University. So I think my understanding is, and I could be completely wrong and making this up as I go along, at one point, Sydney University did some sort of online study about pictures. And we're using pictures as part of a research program.
Uh-huh.
This was years ago, right?
Right.
As I get it. And it was for a very small thing. It wasn't dating sites or anything else. I think it was just they were collating pictures off websites to analyze for some project or whatever it was, some school project. And now everybody puts this on there because they are worried that the pictures are going to be stolen and abused. And well, I mean, I think there is a reality to this, right? If you put a picture out on the World Wide Web, the WWW, someone could nick it.
Of course. It's out there, isn't it?
Yeah. You've posted it. It exists. Someone could screenshot it. Someone could take a photo of it. Someone could download it, and they can use it. So you have to be mindful that pictures are going to be taken, or I think there's a risk to all of this stuff that we do. And when I look at what we post, I think try not to post anything that we'd have to be too worried about if it got out there.
You could live yourself if it was out there and you couldn't retrieve it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think that's the way you have to live your life with this. No statement like that, like, dear Sydney University. And if you've never seen this, this is a phenomenon that happens a lot on Fab Swingers, which is one of the UK's biggest site for hooking up and stuff. They say, dear Sydney University, don't take my pictures, basically, because
you
steal
don't
them as
have my
copyright
permission
theft and blah, 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 blah. By posting this here, you do not have the permission to... Bullshit. None of that works. It's just a bunch of legal mumbo jumbo that some idiot has posted on there that a bunch of people have copied and pasted throughout the course of the years. If there was some means of taking all of that shit out of Fab, like with the click of a button, I would absolutely do that, because it is just junk. It doesn't mean anything. It doesn't protect you from anything. What protects you is watching what you post in the first place and understanding that if you put it on a site that anyone can have access to, because Fab, you can sign up for free, someone could see that picture.
All right. I've got this, again, enduring little image in my head. And maybe I'm just like delirious from hunger this week. I don't know.
Maybe.
I've got this image in my head of this person sitting diligently in a room in Sydney University, like trawling through Fab sites. And
all right, mate. I've got a great picture here. Hey, Dave-o, come over here, mate, and see the picture I've just stolen off of Fab Swingers.
I just want that to be a thing.
Sweaty Ball 69 here, mate. He's posted this picture, and now we got it. We own that shit. Now we're going to use that in our report, mate.
Yeah, they didn't put it in their profile. We're having it.
Fuck them. Please excuse the insanely awful, terrible Aussie accent.
Oh,
impression.
I just really love the concept of this it being an actual registered job title that someone has, that they have to trawl through the Fab profiles to find someone who's been... who's not put it on their profile, and they can steal the images.
Davo's our naughty picture acquirer, mate. He's the head of naughty picture acquirance. Honestly, it's nuts. So, I think that's why it's out there. I think I've read into
the myth. If we busted the myth, I think it doesn't
make a damn bit of difference. Don't put it on your profile. And, I'm going to put out there, it makes you look a bit special if you got it on there. There's no need for it to exist.
Now, all the other universities, whoa.
Oh, yeah. Birmingham University. Now, those guys are a bunch of cunts. Not really. I have no, it doesn't matter, I think. You can put whatever you like on your profile, and it's not going to remove people from taking a look at your pictures or seeing what's on there. So I would say my advice would be don't bother with it. It's a waste of time.
Taking up precious word space in your fab profile that you could use better.
It is indeed. So Trouble with a 3 or Trouble 3, I don't know, Trouble also asked, should we go fuck our fit neighbours? What's acceptable distance for not shitting on your own doorstep? And I think this is an interesting one because you don't see this like many other people.
I don't.
You really
don't. I find it actually quite exciting. The concept of bumping into someone I know, like friendly, whatever, or even a work colleague. If I met someone and they were in the same realm of non-monogamy as we were, I wouldn't feel awkward at all. I'd find it amazing. Like, wow. Well, we're both going to keep secrets, right? Because, it's
mutually assured destruction.
Yeah.
It's that you're here for a reason. I'm here for a reason. So
let's not fuck it up for each other.
Yeah. I think there is that to it. I don't get your exact excitement over it, but for you, I think it's a little bit like seeing a dog in the playground. Oh, it's someone I know in a different place. It's amazing. Look at it. I was working with them 10 minutes ago, and now they're here. Oh, there's your cock.
I think partly because we seek to normalise things, and that's what we've kind of done from the word go with podcasts and all the things we do. It's because we want to normalise things and not make it a stigma, right? And bust those stereotypes. So the more you see your neighbour and your work colleagues and your friends in these environments, which are so incredibly salacious and seedy, then actually, shouldn't it become more and more of a normalised thing that, like, oh, there's Bob from, I don't know, the school playground that I know is son, whatever.
I was glad you added his son.
Mean?
There's Bob from the school playground. How did a fucking 10-year-old get in here? Get him out.
No, but like the more you see your friends, your family, your neighbour, whatever it is, does it matter? It's no different to bumping into them in Sainsbury's or going to a golf course and going, oh, there's so-and-so. Why should it be a thing?
So I think there is a worry about people's jobs, and I think there is a career and livelihood and way of life protection. I absolutely get that, but you're absolutely right in terms of actually by normalising this, everyone could be theoretically in the lifestyle of a certain age or whatever, and therefore you could see everybody in swingers clubs. Like imagine this weird, utopia, could be an absolute hellhole for some people. You could go to a club and see your next door neighbour, and you could go and see the head teacher, and everyone's fine with it and everyone's cool with it.
Yeah.
And that's how things should be, in that no one is persecuted for their enjoyment of sex and having sex with other people and all this sort of stuff. I think that would be the absolute ideal. I think the flip side is that some people enjoy the clandestine secret bit, and they don't like giving that up. So, and it's a tricky one because that can be quite a turn on.
Yeah. So if you're obviously finding the clandestine to be an extra turn on in a monogamous journey, then great. And so be it. Keep it that way.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't see a reason to get bent out of shape over seeing someone that you recognise or being rumbled by someone, because you're both there for a reason. You're both there to enjoy a hobby together. It shouldn't be a shameful thing.
I think it depends on your profession. And this is, we're talking ideal world here. So we're both rather fortunate in that people from work have an awareness of our sort of participation in the lifestyle through things like the TV show and the podcast, and that we've spoken to them and all that sort of stuff. So we're quite lucky in that we're not going to get fired for this. Mm-hmm. But some people are not so lucky. So some people in certain professions would absolutely be fired and removed. So people like police, teachers, politicians, that sort of thing, their jobs could be on the line depending on how they are in the lifestyle and how it would be seen by other people.
Sure, and whether there's like morality clauses and
all that sort of stuff.
Like that. Yeah,
and I think if there is a morality clause, then you need to, you either need to not do it or be really careful or find another job. It's easy for me to say that, but that would be my recommendation. But for other people, I mean, I think there is a reality. I would say that if you live near a club and there's a club that's 5-10 minutes down the road, chances are you might bump into someone that you know, right?
I agree. But also you could go to a club like 3 hours away and then bump into someone that's, of similar locality to you, doing exactly the same thing, because they're like, oh, we better not go down the road.
Yeah, better not go down the road. We're going to go to the next one.
I mean, what could happen anyway? You could just bump into people who who knows someone that you know on Facebook, for goodness sake. And that's happened to us in the past.
And that's absolutely happened. I think there is a reality to this, in that I think you kind of need to understand your risks and work within what's acceptable to you. So I think if your risks are high for your job and whatever, then by all means give the 10 mile away club or whatever it is some wide berth.
Yeah.
If it's not a risk to you, then why not go and enjoy yourself? And if you bump into people, it's not going to be a problem, or it shouldn't be a problem.
I can't see it being a problem. It could be just a funny conversation starter as well.
Well, it could be, and it could be, it could be that co-worker that you've always wanted to fuck, and now they're in the club, and now you got that chance. Unlikely though.
Yeah.
I think there is that you need just to be mindful of balancing that risk between the rewards that you get from going to a club that's only 5 minutes down the road.
Yeah.
We'd be, like I say, we'd be okay because we're out and we're talking about all this sort of stuff. But for someone who has to keep it all hidden, probably not so good. So distance-wise, acceptable distance for not shitting on your own doorstep. I mean, I'm going to guess like if the nearest club is within 45 minutes away, you're probably okay. Or outside of 45 minutes, should I say, you're probably okay. But, that risk decreases if you go even further out.
True.
So for us, the nearest clubs that we like, it seemed to be sort of 2.5 hours away. So the reality is we're not going to bump into people.
No, it's highly unlikely.
Very unlikely. But, if it was 2 minutes down the road, chances are we'd see them.
Yeah.
Okay, so keep that in mind. So we had Ragdoll Jim said TV show. I had a question about that because the TV show that we did.
It was aired again.
It was aired again last night and tonight, I think, or last night and the night before. Not that it means any difference to you, gentle listener, because this could be any time that you're listening. But recently in the UK, the TV show, Swingers, that we did was on TV again. It was repeated a couple of times.
That good old prawn ring keeps resurfacing, doesn't it?
It does keep resurfacing. So they said, when did we start using our names?
It was, Faces Out was New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Wasn't it?
And
it was once we'd done the show, we pretty much why wouldn't we?
Yeah, I think because we used they wanted to use our real names in the show.
Yeah.
That was one of the things that they were absolutely adamant about. I think it was really important for us to start dropping our names here in the show and when we've done other people's shows and that sort of stuff. I guess that the flip side is that we genuinely call each other Mr. and Mrs. H.
We actually do.
Hey, Mrs. H, how you doing? So,
yeah.
And I think we don't often refer to each other as Simon and Carolyn. In fact, I hate my name. I hate my name.
And it freaks me out when you say my name.
You all right, Carolyn?
No, stop it. You just don't ever use it.
Is that because you're in trouble?
You use it sometimes in passing to other people.
Yeah.
Like you might refer to me as Carolyn.
Yeah, I might do.
But you won't call me Carolyn.
No, I won't look you directly in the eye either. I know what's safe and what's not. So I think this is one of those things like we did the TV show. We knew we were going to be out there. We knew we had to use our names. So we don't edit it out now if we say each other's names. We don't ask that other people edit it out on shows. We don't necessarily ask that people call us by our names either.
No, I mean, I like Mr. and Mrs. H because that's genuinely our nice little pet names for each other anyway.
Yeah, so, and it's just letting other people into that little space for us. So yeah, it's been a couple of years now, I think, of using our names. Obviously, they're doing some catching up on the podcast, so they've got a whole plethora of stuff to get through. Good luck to them. Well done. But I think, it's an interesting one because it does feel more honest and more authentic by being just us two.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Or at least not censoring ourselves around that. And I think we've always been relatively honest with Mr. and Mrs. H because that's what we call each other. But yeah, what do you think? I
agree. I think if we're going to go on national TV for one and talk about our sex life, because essentially that's what we did.
Yeah.
It makes no sense at all to give yourself a fake name because your face is out there.
Oh, exactly.
Makes no sense. And actually the sense of relief I felt in some respects when we did reveal our faces, it was quite exciting for one, because for so long we'd just been, mouth upwards, obscured kind of thing. And we would only ever post pictures of, our lower halves. And after a while it becomes really frustrating because we just couldn't really ever capture us, in our personality sometimes.
And the emotion of the picture is often in the face and the eyes.
Absolutely. And it felt really lovely to finally reveal our faces and be, this is us.
I think this has been overall a journey of sort of revealing more of ourselves. And I think, we started off with an account on Fab called One Thing, and we started the show and we were a little bit, not clandestine, but sort of not so keen to reveal that we did the show. And then pretty quickly, the show us was, because it's always been us.
Yeah.
Although, podcast Mr. H is probably a little bit wittier than real me, probably a little bit more handsome. What can I say? But we actually, we revealed to other people. We met no longer under that sort of the old fab name.
Yeah.
And then, we just arrived being the bed hoppers. And I think, I'm being honest and saying, I've arrived, kneel before Zod.
But interestingly, we do still meet people and don't introduce ourselves as we're these podcasters.
No.
We just sometimes, we were having this conversation, I think, recently with someone else, but we could go to any club still and be, just us.
Yeah.
And choose not to say who we are or what we do. And, we're not, thinking we're going to get recognised necessarily, or we might do, I don't know.
Well, I think the amount of people that recognise us, and this is a really interesting one, is minuscule.
I would say so too.
Genuinely, we can rock up to pretty much every club and people.
I mean, you could remain hidden in plain sight, couldn't you, if you wanted to?
Yeah, I think if people know us, they know us. And I think that's the reality of it, that there are a number of listeners out there. Thank you for being one of them, or maybe two, if there's a couple of you, or three of you, might be that. But actually, the chances of us bumping into those listeners sounds like so fucking egotistical. But the reality is that it's small. The number of people that listen to the show compared to the number of people that go to clubs every single week and being
and don't
there,
listen.
that don't listen, because they need to they need to listen. They need to show up on the right day to the right club at the right time with us, being around, and probably follow our Twitter so they know what we look like.
Exactly.
It's minuscule, and yes, we do get occasionally recognised, but it's so rare that actually when we do go to a club, it is just you and I, and unless we're bringing an entourage, and by entourage I mean just going with friends really, and that's fine too. But it's an interesting sort of angle, because I find that I think you can over worry about some of this stuff. I think you can really go down in an alleyway of kind of being worried that everyone is just talking to you for being you, or are they talking to you for being you or being the podcaster, or the famous TV person. He says, using that term so lightly and with so much tongue in cheek. But
I mean, it doesn't help you wear a cape wherever you go now,
with my face on it,
and you go around singing your own theme tune.
Yeah, just whistling bed hopping time all the way through, strumming my ukulele wherever I go like a lute.
And trying to get served in bars going, don't you know who I am?
Toss a coin to your witcher, oh valley of plenty. Yeah, that doesn't happen.
No,
it's so minor. And occasionally people will come up and say hello. Anyway, we kind of steered well off point. We started using our names ages ago when we came out on television, and we don't censor them particularly. We drop them in every now and then. Particularly, I think more often than not, it's when other people use our names. Yeah. We just don't delete it.
No, we don't. Which
is absolutely fine. So that was all the questions we had, which is quite nice. It's taken us nicely into sort of like a 40-minute or so little podcast, which I hope you've enjoyed. Lovely. But before we round this off, we've got some announcements, or at least one announcement.
Okay.
We got one announcement.
One announcement. Just the one.
We got plenty of stuff in the pipeline.
Oh, yeah.
Which is ironic for you, given your current state of bathroom atrocities.
Wow.
However, we do have something that we can announce to you, gentle listener, and the general public, and that is our Going Dutch event.
Oh, yay.
It is the one that you named.
I did a help.
You did a helpy. Well done,
I actually added some value.
So this is working with our delightful friends,
Kate and Daryl.
Yes, from
Wanderlust Swingers podcast.
There we go.
Look at me knowing shit.
You knowing shit all the time.
I know shit. I just choose not to reveal it.
And tell us about this trip. I know it's going on the 28th to the 31st.
28th of July for 4 days. Yes. So 28th of July, I believe, is a Friday. I want to say, it's Friday to Monday, yes. Essentially. And night one is just going to be like, I don't know, settling in, doing your own thing. In Holland. Going Dutch.
There we go.
No. Oh, well, it's going to be in a number of places in Holland, but it's going to be Amsterdam, Rotterdam, Gouda? I don't know how you pronounce it. Gouda? I always say Gouda, but I guess it's not. And, apologies for my pronunciation if I got it wrong.
Okay, can't be any worse than my Australian accent.
Oh, God, no. You're going to get like a ton of insults. Or shit in the post, who knows?
Probably.
I could probably help with the last one. Anyway, Amsterdam trip. It's going to be excellent. It's not going to be a huge amount of spaces on this. I think possibly 20.
I think 20 couples or 20 tickets for couples. It's a couples only event, I believe, at the moment. And what we're doing is we're
2 clubs.
2 clubs. So we're
Not
going
1, but 2 clubs.
checking out 2 clubs. There's accommodation for a couple of nights. I think you have to source your own accommodation for the Friday.
Just for Friday.
There's payment plans. So if you want to jump on board or hop on to this amazing trip, you can not only pay, straight out if you've got the wads of cash to do that, but you can also do a payment plan and spread the cost over the next couple of months, which is really handy.
Loads of stuff included. There's loads of like lovely meals and drinks
Trips
here
and
and there
stuff.
along the way. There's some trips, some guided tour thingies.
Did I see it was an anal tour? Or was it a canal tour? I can't-
Canal.
Okay.
Canal. The sea.
All right.
The sea is not silent. So there's going to be a bunch of activities going on, plus the 2 fantastic club trips included. Can we say where the clubs are?
No, we cannot.
God, such a
It's
tease.
well, it's not. It's just on the poster, so you can say.
Yay!
Go on then. All
right, I'm going to say it's Fun for 2,
Yep.
which is where we went for New Year's Eve recently, and Fata Morgana.
There we go.
And I believe the Fata Morgana one includes a pool party because it's during the day as well.
Yeah, something like that. But,
we
we'll
know
keep-
stuff again.
We'll keep some of the details
Keep
secret.
some stuff secret because,
on the DL.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly that, right? But anyway, we're really excited about this trip, despite Mrs. H's sort of lackluster delivery of it.
How was that lackluster?
We kind of got this thing, and it's happening there. If you fancy coming along, you could. We reckon this is going to be an absolute kick-ass trip, but it's what I really like about it is it's quite intimate, so there's not too many people. It's a good number. It's a good group. We've already got a bunch of tickets sold, and we've already got some really sexy, amazing friends coming along with us for the ride. So I would say if you're interested, get in quick because I think this thing's going to sell out pretty soon.
I think so too.
We're going to put the links on the show notes. Well, I am. Mrs. H is probably.
Notes?
Yes, exactly that. So I'm going to do that. And if you want more information, get in touch with ourselves or get in touch with Kate and we'll be happy to give you more info, right?
I can give you a very apt Dutch proverb if you like to wrap this little segment up,
Oh,
which I know you're going to love.
Okay.
Okay. And the proverb is such: the foolish man places daffodils on a piano. The wise man places tulips on an organ.
I don't get it.
Tulips. Tulips.
Why would you place flowers on an organ?
Tulips. Think Dutch. Look, just indulge me on this one, all right? That's, for me, in my current state of medical play, this is pretty fucking good.
Okay.
Did you enjoy that?
Yes, it was all right, I suppose.
I didn't make it up. This is an old Dutch proverb.
I don't think it's a proverb.
I think you'll find it is.
I think it's a xenophobic joke, probably.
No, it isn't. It's a play on words, you pinecone.
Right, on that note, thank you for joining us today.
Oh, you're welcome.
Mrs. H.
I feel like I've added value.
I feel like you've been a value succubus. Now do your thing.
Well, thank you for hopping into our bed. There's more.
There's more.
Yes,
Oh my
yes.
God.
Oh goodness.
Oh, my.
Lions and tigers.
Oh. Start of this one, right, is the first new bit of music.
Oh, Jesus, what have you done to it? What have you done?
Well,
if there's whistles, I'm out. I'm not doing it. No.
I might bring the whistles in for this bit. This will be cool.
You find yourself a new podcaster then. I'm not joining you for this. Do not drag me into this atrocity.
So, people will have already heard it by the time they get to this bit, unless they've just skipped it.
I haven't even heard it.
Well, you have heard it, and you went, I don't like it.
Did I actually?
Yes, you did.
Why did you go ahead with it then? I don't like it.
Because you don't listen to it, so you'd never know.
That's logic is both baffling.
And sensible.
No, and offensive.
No.
So
that means the next step is for you to re-record the interview song.
Well, the next step is for you to learn how to play octaves then and play it in the key that I can sing it in, dear.
It's just white noise.
F and brown noise.